So we're going to go from there to talking about tourbillons. So tourbillon, as you guys know, probably was patented in 1801 by Abraham Louis Breguet. It was a device to compensate for errors on the escapement and on the balance and on the hairspring when watches were in the vertical position. What are they doing in a wristwatch? Because a wristwatch is very rarely in a vertical position. It's, you know, let's face it, it's because they're cool looking. I mean, look at that. It's amazing looking, you know? It's funny because Francois Paul-Jurin, who made this watch, is very fond of saying, putting a tourbillon on a wristwatch is like breaking your leg before running a race. He said, but of course he has to put a caveat in there that benefits him, which is to say, however, to have a remontoire, which is a self-arming system for constant force, as he has in his watch. That's like having a really marvelous cast on your leg, right? So tell us a little bit about that watch and how it charms you.
Well, this is a fantastic watch on two levels. First, because it is not easy to make a movement entirely in 18-karat rose gold. This is not something that existed in traditional horology. The ability to build a movement out of solid gold is an artifact of the modern era. And again, it's there because it's luxurious, it's beautiful, it's warm. Now the dial itself has a wonderful imprint known as the Regency imprint. The great thing about that being, once again, it is fatuous, but because it's fatuous, it is fabulous. A beautiful surround for the pièce de résistance.
That's good.
And then the tourbillon.
Yes.
Again, what purpose does it serve? Well, if it's a pocket watch in your pocket in one orientation with respect to gravity, helps to even out the effects of gravity on timing. But when it's moving in every which way, the effect is less pronounced, which is why modern evolutions of the tourbillon, such as this canted double tourbillon, it actually has two tourbillons, one moving in a 4-minute circuit, one moving in a 60-second circuit by Grubel-Forsey, reclaims some of the original chronometric purpose of the tourbillon.
Reapplied for the wristwatch. But then if you look at it, because you've got essentially these two axes around which the balance wheel is being driven, it starts to become less of a chronometric device and more sort of a mobile sculpture, you know? And,
yes.
and I think that that's the charm of it as well. I mean, none of these watches have lost the essence of watchmaking in that they are ultimately there to tell time accurately. But they have sublimated that and sort of brought it to another level by bringing emotion into the game, and I think that making that the primary sort of attraction.
I would agree with that, because it's often important to be the best of the old style. For instance, why do we revere Secretariat? Because Secretariat was the highest level of breeding, excellence, and achievement in an old and romantic form of sport. Secretariat was the ultimate racehorse, slower than any car, but fantastic as the ultimate example of that type. This achieves that. Grubel-Forsey tourbillon watches have won timing competitions against mechanical competition.
Exactly.
So we have something that is both.
I think they won the second concourse, right?
That is
the
a
first
fact.
one was won by Jaeger with the Master, which I know is one of your favorite watches, which beat the gyro.
Which beat their own gyro.
And then I think what I also liked because at some point all the guys at Grubel were being like, hey, listen, you guys claim to make the world's most accurate watch. You've done all this sort of achievement related to multiple axes for wristwatch tourbillons. When are you going to prove it to us? And so they did. They went to the Concours International de la Chronométrie and they won with one of their watches, and we have to sort of say chapeau to them.